This video is going to be dedicated to helping you become more profitable in your business. The number one way for an insurance agent to become more profitable is to master the art of referrals. Because most agents nowadays are working from some type of lead generation program, which, do not get me wrong, leads are a fantastic resource, but they're also a resource that you have to pay for. Well, earlier in my career, I would make the mistake of purchasing a lead, sitting and helping a client, receiving my commission from the insurance carrier, and that was it. I thought it was a good trade. My commissions were higher than my cost. I thought I was being profitable. But the reality of it is, I wasn't even getting started. Instead, thankfully now, I've learned the art of the referral. Instead, what I'll do is I'll go sit with that client, help that client, and I'll get referrals from that client, which lead to more sales, which then will lead to more referrals and will repeat to more sales. It's a great process. Now you may be wondering, I want to know how to become better at referrals. Well, that's what we're going to do today. So at this point, we're going to fast forward that we've already sat down, helped the client, and before we leave, we're going to tell Mr. Johnson, hey, listen, the last thing we have to do is we have to fill out your critical action network. And we're going to explain to Mr. Johnson that right now in the United States, there's over $1 billion worth of unclaimed life insurance. And I'm going to turn and I'm going to ask him, why do you think that is? Most people are going to ponder for a minute. They may say, I don't know. Sometimes they'll guess right. And they'll say, well, maybe because people didn't know they had insurance in the first place. And sadly, that's true. People will purchase the insurance policy and they'll put it away. And they'll never tell their close friends or family they even have it. Or worse, let's say, God forbid, my spouse knows I have it. So they think if something happens, the spouse will call in. We've had clients that have passed away in car crashes. No one else knew about the policy. The agent didn't know the client passed away. The insurance company didn't know the client passed away. So who's going to inform them? Well, this is where your critical action network comes in. Another example is they may say, oh, well, I keep all my policies in a safe place. My family knows where they're at. We've had clients that unfortunately passed away in a house fire. Everything got burned up. They knew where the insurance policies were kept. They didn't know the amounts of the insurance, the companies the insurance was with, or the insurance agent. So this is where our critical action network comes into play. We call this our CAN sheet. We're big on acronyms, CAN. Now, once you come partner with us at Partners Life, you'll gain access to our library of documents where you can print out your CAN sheet. Simply put, just so you know, it has the client's name, the spouse's name, the date that you helped them, and also the insurance company and the insurance product. And then from there, we're just going to take a list of names to fill out the critical action network. I'm going to say, Mr. Johnson, what we need is we need 10 individuals. I don't care if it's your family, your friends, co-workers, neighbors, church members, it's whoever you trust. And just so you know, what I'm going to do is I'm going to call them. I'm not going to tell them anything about your insurance or the financial aspect of it. My biggest concern is I want to make sure that they have my contact information and the contact information for the insurance carrier. So God forbid, should something happen to you or your wife, they know who they can contact. My number one priority is making sure that your family is taken care of. Makes sense? And you say, yeah, it makes sense. So then from that point, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to ask, okay, who's the first person we're going to put down? Typically, they'll pop off 2, 3, maybe 4 people right away. Just so you know, sometimes they may say, well, I don't have anybody else. Yes, we do. If you pull out that cell phone, you have a huge list of contacts, right? We just got to help them think through who they're going to be. I may say, okay, well, you've listed your close family members. Who's someone else? Let me ask you, if you didn't show up for work, who's your work friend that's going to check on you and make sure everything's okay? They'll give that name. They may say, okay, what about if you didn't come to church on Sunday? Is your pastor going to contact you? Maybe a friend in the congregation? Whoever it may be. The point is we help them think of 10. 10 is important. I'm going to explain why. Not only is 10 important for the client, but it's also important for you, the agent. I'm going to say, Mr. Johnson, of these 10 people, we'll be lucky if we're able to get in contact with 5. Because now in the days of caller ID, Most people aren't going to answer the phone if they don't recognize the number. So the 5 people that will answer, I'll give all my information to them, but hopefully nothing's going to happen to you in the near future. Hopefully we're talking about years down the road. So at that point in time, of the 5, we'll be lucky if there's still 1 who either hasn't lost their phone, lost my contact information, or just whatever reason can't get in touch with me. So that's why we have to have 10. For you, the agent, the reason we have to have 10 is because you're going to contact them. 2 of the 10 people are going to end up asking you for help with their insurance needs. Now, out of courtesy, before I leave the home, I'll say, all right, Mr. Johnson, when I contact the members of your critical action network, sometimes when they find out I do insurance, they ask if I can then help them and their family. Would there be any reason why you would be upset if I help protect them the way I help protect you and your family? The client never cares. They say, no, I hope you do. So now when I contact the members of that critical action network, I'm always going to have at least 2 that are going to at least ask for information, which is now 2 more leads because there's 2 more referrals. The last thing, guys, once you fill out this sheet, now you're going to ask Mr. Johnson, hey, listen, is there anybody that you know that maybe I should talk to and help them with their insurance like I just helped you? Guess what's going to happen? Mr. Johnson's going to turn and look at that sheet of names, and he's going to say, this person, and this person. I know they need insurance. You tell them I told you to call them. Sound great, doesn't it? Exactly. Last thing you'll do is you're going to take a picture of that form and you're going to text it to your client. Also with a pre-drawn text that says, hey, listen, my insurance agent, Glenn Lamb, is going to be giving you a call. Before you ask, yes, everything is just fine, but do me a favor and please make sure you take his call.